Okay, this is DragonofEternity and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ. In the last video I made my way to a subway where I could help people, but their leader's being an asshole. And in this video we'll be looking for Ceruleum, his park materials. Jullus finds himself in the somewhat bizarre position of leading ambassadors of an enemy contingent on a salvage mission. We will begin our search for Ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. The first location is Forum Soleus, a park to the northwest of this station. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. Okie dokie. Maybe I can finally use that bloody Gur Skull. Let's see. Slowly but surely. Do you say anything to me now? There's only so much I can do until we are able to procure more medicine. We cannot safely move the injured, and what little provisions we do have are spent keeping both us and the survivors warm. Let us help you! Ay, 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 ay. So this was a park then. Oh, there's an ether current. Tell you what, I'll talk to you for in a moment. Ba-boom. So let's see, that's 1 out of 10? Yeah, most likely. Tell you what, where's my collections tab? Duty, collection, ether compass. There we go. I'll find some ether currents eventually. Let's see. Alpha no. To think this macabre graveyard from Machina was once a park. This is the place. So this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were built around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus Oscalvus. Did we come to extract Ceruleum from that wrecked Magitech armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the Machina in the vicinity. But our Ceruleum has been stolen. We must scour the city for every last drop. And while I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time, in case something has been overlooked. I see, then with your permission we will commence the search. Okie dokie, I see something shiny. All Machina wreckage. A cursory inspection of the wrecked Magitech armor confirms that the fuel canisters have long since been drained of Ceruleum, as Jullus said. Alright, what's Alfie got to say? I don't imagine there would be much need for Magitech in a park of all places, but then again I wasn't raised in Goromald. They may have uses for Ceruleum that I've yet to consider. Yeah, like making fountains work. Jullus. Dots. Jullus ignores you as he stares at the water in silence, as if searching for something he knows has gone and will never return. Damn. Oh, there's a slide. I don't suppose they made escalators for the slide. Nah. The contraption is built in the same style of Imperial War Machina, armed with a battery of weapons and capable of transforming into different configurations. But on closer inspection, it appears to be no more than a children's slide. Really? Alright, where's Alice in this? Automated satellite. I don't suppose I could drain that, could I? Alright, I gotta find 2 more bits. Oh, well, there's a shop counter and there's a map. Though rather small by Garlean standards, the structure is reminiscent of a merchant's stall. Perhaps it was built for children to play at shopkeeper. There was nothing inside resembling Magitech or any other devices that would be fueled by ceruleum. And let's see, where's Alice? Map of Forum Soleus. Several points of interest are marked on the map of Forum Soleus. The pond, children's play areas. To your knowledge, however, none would require the use of ceruleum. Really? You wouldn't have like heaters in the park during the winter? Or maybe ceruleum fueling the lights? Tis a thought. Right, Jullus. Oh, it's you, any luck? Nope. There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. I couldn't help noticing you gazing at the pond. Is something the matter? What? Yes. I mean, no, It's just I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over. So, like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. Would be stopping wet when all was said and done, every time. And every time when we get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. With a ceruleum-powered heater, by chance. I suppose it must have been. Come to think of it, I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath a hatch. But that was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. We can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Try touching it. Jullus, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Garlean would jump out of the skin if they saw it, but the first has a few foreign signiferi and medici, so it doesn't scare me. And I take it you wouldn't mind if I employ a little now. Alphino, as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of their fire should do the trick. Leave it to me. You're not planning to go in, are you? Of course I am. The tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed ceruleum from a frozen lake, like how the tappers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane! So fancy a dip? A little friendly competition might make things interesting. The last thing I need is you catching a cold. Step aside while I drink the pond dry. That way you'll find it in no time. Nah. God, the music goes heavy. Last one to find a cerulean tank is a rotten egg. Though I dare say we'll both smell like rotten eggs when this is over. Oh, dog was awake. Alright, let's see. Gods be good, it's cold. Perhaps we should have listened to Jullus after all. You delve into the murky water but come up empty-handed. To add insult to injury, the icy wind on your damp clothing chills you to the bone. Ah, lovely. Damage over... Please heal me, Sparrow. You delve into the murky... Uh-huh. Final one. Beneath the water, your fingers catch on what you think might be a handle. You open the hatch and retrieve a cerulean tank. Why are you holding your hand out like that? However, your grand discovery comes at great personal cost as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and a rancid odour emanating from every ilm of your body. Jullus will doubtlessly feel compelled to pinch his nose shut when you deliver to him your prize. Yeah. Good news, I'll say I found it. You found it? There must be another one around here somewhere. Did you find anything? I hope you did. Temperature regulator cerulean tank. Uncovering hidden treasure is an adventurer's bread and butter. For this one, it's not normally required to go elbow deep in ice-cold stagnant water to retrieve it. Nevertheless, many would choose that over mowing down hordes of slavering beasts or solving annoying puzzles. It's like they knew. That's it! And there's still some ceruleum left. Ah, the fire's still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alphino a hand. Wong Twin. Should I be closer to it? Call me an old dawn, because by fire I am reborn, and my clothes are mostly dry now too. I appreciate you recovering the ceruleum, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he would be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Jullus, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire, awarded an estate. We lived well, better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. There was everything you could imagine, and so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we always found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the streets, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, that brief respite The ice would melt and the forgotten grass would make its triumphant return. Grey clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb to the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again, those rooftops are rubble, those friends dead, and those memories. But if I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon our chance will come, we just need to hold on a little longer. Let us help you! Sheesh. Well, at least my clothes are finally dry, but I could still do with a proper wash. Owing to the wealth of experience I've accrued in gathering firewood, I was even able to provide Jullus with some basic pointers on the subject. I thought it might help to further build a report, and to distract him from his other concerns. No good deed. Now that the fire is burnt out, Jullus is ready to move on. Alright, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search just outside the park. Okie dokie. Let's see, this is level 83. So we just need to go over here then. Everything was built on an enormous scale with thick, cleanly cut stone, much like Amrod. Given what we now know, such similarities are no coincidence. Yeah. The whole machina appear to be patrolling the area of its own volition. I wonder whether it is simply following its original orders or if it now serves a Telothroi. Well, how about we ask Jullus? As you can see, the place is littered with remnants of various types of war machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units, those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time, that time being now. Rather than prize them apart piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated at these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you to stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering, though, you should check the machina's ceruleum gauge to see if there is any left. It should provide an accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Oh, dog's getting up. What are you doing, buddy? You going out? Okay. Okie dokie. Right, so using explosives. Understood, let's get to work. Okay. According, this ceruleum's fuel tank is empty. No. Giving you no way to determine how much fuel its tank may hold. Let's find one that is full. Let's see. This one? Broken. It's really not helping me much, is it? Okay, so there's two that are broken. Guess I gotta try. Alright. Find it's still half full, or maybe half empty, depending on one's perspective. Either way, Jullus will surely be pleased by your discovery. Okie dokie. More explosives. Wait, is that what I think it is? Not only does its tank survive the attack that disabled the wall machina in which it was installed, it also escaped the blast of your explosives unscathed. If medals for outstanding service were awarded to inanimate objects, the champion among cerulean tanks would surely deserve this one. Or this champion among cerulean tanks would surely deserve one. You've done it again! Truly luck is on your side. With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we're headed back. Wait here while I go and see how LSA and Alpha Noah are faring. Alright. Seeing as this is a cutscene, I don't trust what's about to happen.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we? Don't react. You'll only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of us scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside. When you emerged sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for. Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
They had not gone far.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage. For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all as I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
The time for action is upon us. My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question. Will they ever escape this cold? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Jullus spoke?
Finished your war, Council?
Alphino and Alize are to stay here as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil. Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Get them out of here.
Okay, you're a dick. Alphino and Arce will be fine, provided they do not resist. Alea lacta est. Once again, Jullus has been entrusted with an unenviable task. He will accompany me back to your camp, where I will meet your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there is something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. That task falls to legionaries Marcellinus and Octavia, who will pilot Magitech armor to your headquarters. You are to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the Isle for further details on those words. Once you have seen to that, meet me by the entrance. Okay, so when do I get to kick this guy's ass? Octavia. What do you want with me? Ask the Isles. The Lord Quintus has reached a decision. I knew he would understand, that he would recognize the savage is a merciless, ruthless, merciless creature, and to defeat him we too must be uncompromising. I am ready in the name of Emperor Varus for the glory of Garmald. I will fulfill my duty. Okay, this don't sound good. So when do I get to kick this guy's ass? You again. Ask the Isle, he said. So that's to be the way of it, after all this. Ironic that you should be the one to deliver the news. If those are my orders, then so be it, for the glory of Garmald. I don't trust any of this. I do not trust any of this. There's about to be a slaughter somewhere. Have you done as instructed? Their duties involve more than the transportation of supplies, don't they? Duty is rarely a simple thing. We have been given additional orders, though whether we will be required to follow them depends entirely on your contingent. You and I are in this together now. Like it or not, we have to cooperate. There is one other matter, a place I'd like to visit on the way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me. Are we going to your home? Is this what we're doing? Where am I going? Into the city. Okay. Reggio Urbanissima. There are a lot of vehicles around here. Uh-huh. Cutscene time. Give me a moment, please. Oh, you aren't about to shoot me in the head, are you? Jullus lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Wait, yeah, sure. This was his house, wasn't it?
This is my home. Our home. At least it was until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to. I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. Promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. a red link at its center. The blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald. But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here?
This sounds a lot like Amarot on the Ancients.
If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
It's no use. Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But she wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do. It's so cold. Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varus at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections, a cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varus and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined. But it only spurs me onward, to find the wisdom and the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand. To refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
You've found your own reason to fight.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alize.
The scouts have secured Alize and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Ambush!
the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return!
Stop! Both of you! This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience. They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th and 12th had ended in failure. Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity. We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Damn. That is all I can say. Damn. Just... damn. Just when I thought we were getting somewhere. Okay, one last hand in. We will make no attempt to resist. Right, see, well, let's still have broken glass. Much and more has occurred since last we met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. Good luck with that. Good luck. Woo, level 84. Enhanced Shadowspine Dive. Strange bedfellows. With the immediate crisis averted, Lucia seeks to gain a clearer understanding of the present situation. Okie dokie, okie dokie. I've just returned from guarding the airships, and now I've got to keep an eye on the captured Imperials. Maybe a bit of chit-chat will help lighten the mood. When the Imperials charged upon us, we were able to avoid any serious injuries on either side. In truth, most of the Garleans were in no condition to fight, sunken eyes, hollow cheeks. It had been a long time since they had a decent meal. I'm sure there will be much more amenable conversation with food in their bellies. It was a grave error not to post sentries farther from the camp. Had we seen the Garleans sooner, we would have slain them long before the truce was called. They engaged us of their own free will and deserve to die of warriors' deaths. Even so, I have not forgotten why we are here, and I will stay my hand, for now. Alright, sup little son. Even with the Empire in ruins, the Garleans have not lost the will to fight. Their strength shall serve them in days to come. There is yet life in this cold soil. Thank goodness the 10th Legion decided to sue for peace when they did. We have been spared more senseless bloodshed, which is the last thing anyone, including the First, needs. From their perspective, though, the promise of reinforcements was their last hope, and now we have no choice but to capitulate to the invaders. And now they have no choice but to capitulate to the invaders. But we will prove them not all is lost. And we yet stand a chance of casting out to Lofroy. And I'm sure we will start doing that next episode when I accept that quest from Lucia. So, I'm going to end this video here. This has been DragonofEternity going through more Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ. In this video, I did a lot of things, I guess. I helped find some ceruleum. I went with this guy to his house. And now, hopefully, we've got the First on our side. Provided this guy starts leading them. Yeah, hopefully. So, yeah. With that planned out, viewers, with my rambling now hopefully done, until next time.